Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So welcome to Vlogmas. So I am back on YouTube. It's been a couple of years, honestly, and I think I'm taking a break from like being on Instagram and stuff like that, and like social media in general, and then I'm just gonna post my videos on YouTube and just like not watch YouTube. I think that's what I'm gonna do for like this next week, and then the following week I'll probably pick up on watching YouTube and Netflix and stuff like that. I just need some time and like the peace and quiet, but I do want to like vlog this and like all that fun stuff, so that's why I'm vlogging my Vlogmas Day 1, because this is real life and this is what's happening. But I wanted to do an update on my life, because I literally have not talked to y'all in literally forever. And then we'll get into like the social media fasting, all that stuff, like from Instagram, Threads, all that stuff. I should include YouTube because I'm on YouTube a lot. Whereas like I wouldn't watch the YouTube videos and I would just post on YouTube, but we'll see. I'm really just doing this to document my life and all that stuff. I'm not really like looking for anybody to actually watch it for, like, besides like my family and stuff like that, but I want to like be able to look back in the future and like see like, oh my gosh, like this is how God has kept me, like this is how far I've come, all that fun stuff, because I am on a journey of lots of things, like to medical school and all that stuff, which I'm going to talk about. But anyways, yeah, I haven't filmed a video in, let's see, let me pull up my iPad and look. I'm filming on my phone because I don't have a lot of storage, but I want to keep this under like 5 minutes basically. So yeah, hold up, let me see what view channel. I haven't posted in 3 years when I posted a dorm haul. That is so funny. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna keep all of the photos and stuff basically the same. I gotta update it because yeah, it says I'm a freshman at App State. I haven't been at App State in like forever. So basically, long story short, maybe one day I'll share my testimony on this channel, but I don't know. I don't know if I should make like a full video or like put it in this or whatever. But anyways, yeah, long story short, my dad passed away in 2018. That was the whole thing. And then I did go to Upstate for 1 semester, and then I just wasn't okay mentally and stuff like that, and so I transferred to USM for another semester. I mean the semester following that semester, so in 2019. Then I transferred to USM in 2020. Went there for literally 3.5 years. I was at USM doing USM during COVID, and I got sent home and had to pack my stuff and all that stuff. Then I went back like a 1.5 years later and lived on campus and all that fun stuff. I graduated last year with a kinesiology, a bachelor's of science in kinesiology, exercise science. I thought I knew what I was gonna do, like as far as like going to I thought I was gonna go like directly into the master's of kinesiology program at USM, and nothing to do with like any of the professors and stuff there. That just was not for me. Like I just felt like when I did my internship, I just felt like that wasn't the place for me, and just like all of that stuff, it wasn't giving what it was supposed to give, what I thought it was going to give. And so I was like, okay, I know the easy path is for me to continue on this path. That's easy for me to continue on this path, get a GA position, complete the master's program for 2 years, and do like my little, there was like a 2-year track and a 1-year track. The 1-year track, I believe you did like an internship, and then the 2-year track you did where you actually had to, what was it, like do some research on your own and all that fun stuff, which did not deter me at all, because I absolutely love research and like all that stuff. I just don't think that I want to be like just doing research for the rest of my life. Like I like being near people. I thought I didn't like people. Okay, that sounds so bad. I thought that because I was quiet, I was meant for a position where I was supposed to be like, you know, putting data in like some of these like flasks and stuff, and like doing the little whatever the proper, I don't even know the proper term is, but like basically I thought I was supposed to be like in the lab, not talking to people, like for real, but like talking to some people, because you gotta talk with some people at work. I thought that was what my path was gonna be, because I was quiet and I had some people like kind of tell me I would be good for that job as like a jobs and stuff like that. But then I was like, that's not really like me for real. Like, I love people, I love all of that stuff. It takes for me to like recharge. I need to be alone, that kind of thing. And so I've had to learn that about myself, and I've had to learn that being introverted, being quiet is not a bad thing, where society sometimes might make me feel like it's a bad thing. Sometimes it's a very, very good thing. And so I've like battled back and forth. I was like, okay, maybe I'm just going to be like an exercise physiologist and all this stuff, and just doing data and all that stuff. And again, I love data, that it just wasn't for me. And I'm so thankful that I did that internship and that I didn't go on with that master's program, because I know that I would not have been okay. I struggled with a lot my mental health my senior year of college, and I had a lot of therapy. Jesus in therapy, the way I got through it. I didn't really exercise much during that time, but I should have. But Jesus in therapy, that's how I got through that. God literally kept me, and that's something I'm so grateful and thankful for. Because I can look back and say there's absolutely no way I should have made it going through the things that I was going through that nobody knew about, but I did make it, and because of God, and all the fun stuff. So yeah, I ended up graduating. I did not do the master's program like I keep saying, but something changed. I want to say it was, okay, so it was my fall semester of my senior year. For context, years prior, when I originally went to App State, I did kinesiology, but they had like an exercise, like a pre-med track for kinesiology at App State. I love App State. It was absolutely pretty, absolutely beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that school. I literally left because I was like not okay mentally and stuff like that. But yeah, absolutely love that school. They had a pre-med track, and then when I came to USM, they did not have a pre-med track. They had they did have kinesiology, but you had to like basically incorporate your own classes into it, which I was like, okay, I don't want to like, you know, spend the rest of my life. I don't want to spend that many years in school and all that stuff. Even though it's something like I could see myself doing and wanting to do, I was just like, the schooling is like deterring me and all that stuff. And so I was like, no, I'm just gonna like do kinesiology, exercise science, and just be done with it, all that stuff. And then it changed to me wanting to do PT school, like to be a physical therapist. And then it changed into me wanting to become a doctor. And I can tell you when it switched from PT to doctor switch, because I shadowed some PTs, and I just feel like most of the PTs are, a lot of the PT, especially, or at least where I am, you're dealing with like the older population. And I have nothing wrong. Like, I absolutely love older people. I absolutely love the older population, all that stuff. That's just not where my heart is, if that makes sense. And so they were saying like a lot of like what you do is with the older population, because you're doing like rehab and stuff for them, which is absolutely fine. I just couldn't see myself doing that for the rest of my life. And so I took a class called Anatomy and Physiology 2. It didn't happen in the first one, it happened in the second one. And we had this unit, this chapter where we're talking about like the endocrine system, like the hormones and stuff like that. And I was like, what is the endocrine system? Like, I'm so confused, what is going on? And so I learned more about the hormones. We went through like all the hormones, like with like the women hormones, like with the menstrual cycle. That really got me interested in all that fun stuff. And I was just like, this is actually something for the first time that I was like actually interested in, wanting to like, you know, go and find manuscripts and like do research on my own about these things and all that stuff. I had done that in like exercise physiology, and all my other classes. I have done that because they were interesting, but like this is the first time I actually like was very interested. I was like, endocrinology, like I don't know anything about the endocrine system. What is that? And I was like, it's hormones. Like, it's literally hormones. And I was like, this is actually so cool to me. I don't know, just learning about all of the hormones and all of that, like the LH surge and progesterone, estrogen, all of that during the menstrual cycle. Like, all of that stuff was cool. Learning about like diabetes, like all that stuff, and how that has to do with like hormones and like your pancreas and all that stuff. That so interests me a lot. And then I also have some of my own medical issues, which the main one being PCOS. That's really the main one that I have, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, and the name's a little bit misleading, but basically, if you get like a, not an x-ray, but if you get like a ultrasound done, it looks like you have a whole bunch of like cysts on your ovaries, that kind of thing, which is not good, because I'm not a doctor or anything. I'm hoping to one day become a doctor, but basically those cysts on the ovaries can cause problems, and those things are causing problems with me, which like, for example, I'll get into that in a different video. That's not what this video is about. But anyways, I learned about that, and I was like, oh, this is actually so cool. And then I was doing more research and like just reading up, like all of my research papers during my senior year were on PCOS. I did a research paper with PCOS and what was it? Oh my gosh, it was PCOS and something. And then I did one with like gestational diabetes and exercise, because it had to be exercise related. And I just fell in love with like women's health, and like that was the first time when I can write about something and like not get bored. Like, that's how I know I'm interested in something. And so that's what I did. And I literally absolutely fell in love, and I was like, this is like exactly, I feel like, where like my mind is supposed to be. My mind, like the way I am, I'm very much a science girly. Like, I don't really like math, but I'm good at math. I love science. I love like biology. Do not like chemistry, but I love like biology and anatomy, physiology, all of that stuff. Like the physiological processes of the body, like what happens like inside our bodies, is so absolutely fascinating to me, and I just love it. And so I was like, I know I'm supposed to be doing something science related, because my brain is just stimulated by these things. And so I just knew. And then I kept trying to force it, like, okay, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? And then it just like fell in my lap to where I was like, oh my gosh, there's an actual like being an infertility specialist, reproductive endocrinologist, is something that's actually a thing. I had no idea it was a thing. And then I started watching like Dr. Natalie Crawford and like all these other people in the community. And I was like, this is something I could see myself like actually doing. And so I have yet to shadow physicians. I have to do that and all that fun stuff. But that's where I'm at. And so senior year, it was too late for me to do any like prereqs for medical school. I needed so many, and I was just like, it's better for me to just go on and graduate and then spend the next like year or 2 years getting those prereqs in. Okay, anyways, before my phone like rudely interrupted me because my storage is bad. Yeah, I just knew I was supposed to be doing, I don't know, I found that field, and then I looked more into it. I started watching Dr. Natalie Crawford, like I was saying, all that stuff. I've been following her podcast, all these things. And it's not that me wanting to be that is because of a person, because it's not because of her, but watching her stuff made me like realize like, yes, this is something that like I'm actually wanting. And just the fact that like I found that connection, I feel like God helped me like put that connection together, and it just felt like natural and stuff. Now things may change, because things can change and stuff like that, but right now I wholeheartedly 100% believe that that's something that I'm supposed to be doing this journey towards, and so that's what I'm doing. I got my MCAT study books in. I just finished OChem, like I was mentioning, like you'll see later in the video. For Vlogmas Day 2, you're not going to see it in Vlogmas Day 1, because I'm going to do 2 separate videos. Because I want to introduce myself and like let y'all catch y'all up on what I'm doing and all that stuff. And so yeah, I just feel like the Lord literally has given me this mind that's so interested in like specific things, and I know it's not a coincidence. It's not something that happened. It's not something that's happenstance, any of that stuff. And so I'm just trusting and believing that. Okay, yeah. In this season, I'm just trusting and believing that the things that are for me, and the things that are not for me are not for me. And does it hurt when I like think that when I want something and I go after it, and God's like, no? Like, it absolutely does hurt, and I get mad and in my feelings, and I'm like, God, for real, like, what are you doing? Like, I thought this was your will for me, like your plan for me. And then he's like, no. And it's like kind of frustrating and kind of annoying. But everything, the way that he's like orchestrated things, like for example, my previous semester and the year before, when I was taking classes, I've had classes that started at 1:40. Now the job that I currently have, I have 2 jobs. With the job that I work at an elementary school as a tutor. or reading to it. I'm not going to say like what program or like where at, because I don't think I'm allowed to say that or whatever. But so last year it was 8 to 1, then I was able to drive because my school was still where I like, it wasn't too far, it was like 20-minute drive, so I could make it to school on time by 1:40 class and all that stuff. And so it just happened like perfectly, like the classes that I needed, it happened, all that stuff. And then this semester the class started at 1:40, but I have to drive 40 minutes to go to class. And so I was able to change my schedule from 8 to 1 for the tutoring job to 7:30 to 12:30, and then from 12:30 and on, then I drive and I make it to my class by 1:20, and so I'm still good. And so God was just so gracious, and I can see his hand moving in all of that. And then I'm doing the same thing basically next semester. I'm adding one more extra thing I think to my busy semester next semester, but we'll see. But yeah, just like looking back and seeing like his hand on those things, sometimes it just feels like a little God wink, like I got you when things like that happen. And then like these MCAT books going on, so like I need MCAT books to study for the MCAT. I need books to study for the MCAT. And so when a person in my class was selling them for $100 when they're originally like $2 something on Amazon, but then he said that he got them for like 60, 70, 170 something. I don't really know what he said he got them for, but basically when I looked online, sometimes they're on sale, but the full price is like $266 or whatever. And so I got them for $100, and I was like, that was another God week moment. And I was like, okay, so I clearly know that you're with me. I knew that you're with me all the time, but sometimes you just need those reminders, and I need those reminders a lot. And so having him do those things, and like I can see him like orchestrating and moving in my life, it's just like so great. And just knowing that he is with me and all that stuff. And like there are some times that I'm like, okay, God, is this still your will for my life? Because I feel like sometimes it's just like it's hard, but then I have to remind myself that like just because it's hard doesn't mean it's not God's will. And then I'm sure God will make it known when it's not his will, even if it hurts my heart and breaks my heart. If it turns out that being a doctor, being a fertility specialist, an infertility specialist, or reproductive endocrinologist, the proper term for it, is not his will for my life, then I'm saying like it's gonna hurt, because it's like something that I don't know, it's something that I want to say I'm not tied to it, but sometimes it feels like I'm like kind of tied to it, but I know that I'm not, because I know that truly that if the Lord puts in my heart that it's not for me to like take away that desire for me and all that stuff. And that's something that I've been praying about, which like it's not an easy prayer at all, because I don't know, it's just a lot. I still have to flush those things out. But yeah, I've had to really pay attention to who I surround myself with, who I'm taking like advice from, and all those things, because like I said earlier, like I was really under the impression that like I wouldn't be good. Yes, like I said earlier, in this season I'm really paying attention to where I like get my advice from and all that stuff, and trying to get that advice mainly from the Lord, through like reading his scriptures and all that stuff, and then going to like wise counsel people that I trust and things like that, because some people will like, I feel like because they don't know you, they think they're like being helpful and like kind to you by saying those things, but in reality it's not really helping you, and it'll make you give like yourself like a false, you won't see yourself the way that you're supposed to be seeing yourself, the way that God truly sees you, and they're like putting limitations on you and stuff like that. And so I've really had to like cut some of that feedback out of my life and stuff like that, so I can hear the voice of God more. But yeah, so I think that me doing a social media like thing like I talked about earlier, me getting off of Instagram, Threads, I'm keeping Pinterest. I don't consider Pinterest social media, even though you can like message and stuff on there, but getting rid of those things, and then not watching YouTube and stuff like that. If I want to watch Christmas movies, then I can just watch it somewhere else, or I can just like fast from Christmas movies for like a week or whatever. We'll see. But I know that I really want to get off of Instagram and Threads and stuff, because it's not helping my mental health at all. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm done with my first semester of OChem. I start OChem part 2 next semester. I have an apartment. The first apartment that I was in, there was 3 of us, and then it was switched to 2 of us. And this is my room now. My room in my other apartment was like really, really cute. And I filmed tons of videos in there, but I just never posted them. So that's the funny thing. I film a lot of videos, I just never post them. But yeah, so that's a long, like 20-minute update. I don't know why it took forever for me to update my life, but that's really what's going on. I'm not like showing like, I'm not saying like where I'm going to school and stuff now, because for like safety reasons, I guess, even though no one's gonna watch it besides like my sisters and my mom and like my momo and papa and them, but like, you know, just in case. But yeah, I want to do a lot with this channel. I mainly want this to be like a documenting channel, like for me to look back and see, like I said earlier, like what God has done in my life and how he kept me, all those things, because I feel like those are important, especially when like times get low. There's a verse in like Philippians what I've been loving recently, but it's about like abasing and abounding, like in the highs and lows, like praising God, being with God, all that stuff. I may not be saying that correctly, but I'm pretty sure that's how you say it, abase and abound. I'll put the verse in the caption below. But yeah, I want to do a lot of like vlogs and like updating you guys, just making this really like a personal vlog, like just me like talking to the vlog, talking to the camera, being real, being raw, being honest of everything. If I need to like flesh something out, I'll flesh something out like off camera, and then if I'm supposed to be like talking about it on camera, then I'll talk about it on camera. You know, all that stuff. I'm a very like introverted, quiet person. I don't think I'm shy, I just think I'm quiet and very introverted. But I do like to have outlets and spaces where I can like be myself and like speak my truth and speak the truth, or should I say speak the truth about Jesus, God, all of that, all of the above. But yeah, I hope this can be a safe space for y'all too. I'm really, really happy to be back on here. I'm hoping that my lighting gets better. I might have to like start vlogging in the daylight and not at nighttime, because my lighting in my room kind of sucks. But yeah, I have a lot of like organization things coming up. I have a lot of me like in the new year of me like getting new beds and like organizing my room and all that stuff whenever the new year, like I said, is coming up, and all that fun stuff. There's a lot of fun things to plan. Christmas is coming up. I want to be able to focus on the reason for the season, like actually Christ and all that stuff, which is why I'm wanting to do like actually like being more intentional and spending time with God and all that fun stuff. But yeah, there's a lot going on, a lot of moving pieces, and I just want to have that one constant where like I'm actually like diving in my word every single day, and not just like, you know, listening to like YouTube videos and saying that's my listening to my word for my day. Like, no, actually being in my Bible, reading the word, praying, asking God for help, understanding it and the knowledge and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm not trying to like be like anybody else on here. I'm trying to be myself. And yeah, I just hope you guys enjoy this just as much as I've enjoyed updating all of my life. Yeah, so I don't know if I'm gonna do like daily vlogs or if it's gonna be like every 2 days or every 3 days or whatever, but we'll see. But I do want to post a couple amount of videos during this month for VLOGMAS, because there's gonna be a lot of exciting things, mainly work, but after work happens, then it's gonna be like a lot of like seeing Christmas lights. My sister's coming down from Charlotte, and so I can vlog with her, Christmas cookies, like all that fun stuff. And so I look forward to having a lot of fun. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to be kind to yourself, because you're doing the absolute best that you can, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.